Moved over. We'd like to welcome you out to the November 3rd Commission meeting, and if you would, rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioners, if I could, I'd like to share an announcement here that we received from the American Legion Price Post number 3. The announcement is that the American Legion Price Post 3 is honored to host a Veterans Day walk and ceremony on November 11th, 2021 at the Price Peace Garden. All veterans are welcome to join in this Veterans Walk, and it will begin at 10 a.m. at the corner of 3rd East and Main Street, and proceeds along Main Street to the Peace Gardens. All community members are invited to attend and cheer on our nation's veterans and service members. The Veterans Day ceremony will begin at 11 o'clock with the nation's anthem. According to the ceremony, there will be Blue Star families that will be recognized for their sacrifices. Blue Star families support currently serving active and reserve members of the U.S. Armed Forces. Additionally, a presentation regarding the Veterans Affairs Price Health Clinic will provide an update to current conditions and future plans. The Utah State University Eastern Campus committed to providing breakfast burritos beginning at 8:30 a.m. The American Legion is also searching for support for cookies, coffee, or similar items. Please contact the American Legion Price Post number 3 at 435-630-8474. And that's from Commander Dave Jellin. So just wanted to share that. Thank you for that. The first item on the list is the Employee of the Month. And Commissioners, if we could, I'd like to table that to next Commission meeting.
I'll make a motion to table.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item number 2, approval of the minutes.
I saw no corrections.
I don't have any either. I'll make the motion we accept the minutes from October 20th, 2021 as printed.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item number 3 is open sealed bid, sheriff's vehicle. Seth?
Unfortunately, we don't have any bids for this item.
No items to bid, so at this point, I don't know if there were no responses because vehicles aren't going to be ready by the end of the year or accessible.
So do you think it would be okay to go look around and see if we can find a vehicle?
I think it would. Lynn, would you?
Yes, you can go, once the sealed bid has been put out there, if there are no bids, you can go out and purchase.
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay.
I'll make the motion that we acknowledge there are no bids and authorize Sheriff Wood to go find a vehicle.
Do we want any reporting back before the purchase?
Yeah, he probably ought to visit with you.
Okay, sounds good. I'll second that motion.
Okay, a motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay. Item number 4, open sealed bids for auditing services. Seth?
We received 3 bids. The first one's from Larson, Spanish Fork.
Larson?
Yeah, Larson. Apparently it's going to take me a minute to find the amount.
have to do an audit to find the number on the auditing bid?
That's right. Huh. We might have to come back to this one. Yeah, let me come back to that one. Look at the other ones first. The second one's from Hinton Burdick out of St. George. Got a lot of information about the firms and their partners. Here we go. Looks for like their proposal is $43,500 for 2021, and then it goes up to $46,150 for 2022 and $48,000 for 2023. And the last one's from Squire out of Orem. Squire's proposal is for 2021, $49,000, 2022 is $50,500, and 2023 is $52,000. That's great. From Larson, 2021 is $32,000, 2022 is $33,000, and 2023 is $34,000. I say that right? Looks like for one difference here on Larson's is there's an additional charge for our single audit. Single audits have to be performed anytime we receive over $750,000 in federal funds. So there's a chance that there may be years that we don't have to have a single audit, but obviously for 2021 and 2022, because of ARPA funds, we will. So there's an additional $4,000 added to what I stated there as their proposals. So for 2021, it'll be $32,000 plus the $4,000 for a total of $36,000. 2022 is $33,000 for the audit plus $4,000 for the single audit, which is $37,000, and 2023 is $34,000 plus $4,000 for $38,000 for 2023.
Seth, do you want to address why we're getting these quotes?
Yeah, for sure. It's been our longstanding norm to go out for bid for auditing services every 3 years. I think it's wise just to ensure that we get the best pricing possible, for one. Is probably the major reason, but also there's I don't know that we've ever had an auditing firm, at least not while I've been here, that we've been dissatisfied with, but I think it's just an opportunity if we do want to look at using another firm for reasons of quality of work. But yeah, the main reason is just to ensure that we're getting the best pricing.
Okay.
The bid, was it advertised as request for qualifications or for proposals? Oh, it's proposals.
Yeah, it's an RFP, but in the request, we do ask for information about the firm and what their qualifications are and experiences. So there's a lot of that in these proposals, and definitely something that we need to consider.
Thank you.
No questions. Sounds like we ought to review those closely. It looks like the apparent low bid is Larson from Spanish Fork. But probably ought to review that.
Who needs to be in the review?
Well, we have an audit committee that we set up a couple years ago. That was part of our steps to be more it's something that's suggested by the state auditor at fraud as part of our fraud assessment. So we have an auditing committee. Our auditing committee is myself, Kay, and the 3 commissioners. So it'd probably be best if we met just for a minute to go over them.
Okay.
I'll make the motion then that we acknowledge those bids and that we engage the audit committee to make a final decision.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thanks, Seth. Moving on to item number 5, consideration and possible approval of board members for the Career Service Council Board.
Maybe I can mention here, our Career Service Board has not had a need to convene for several years, and so we're trying to put that back together. This would be 3 individuals that would be available to listen to any issue in employment with Carbon County that has not been resolved to their satisfaction as they go through Human Resource Department and the Commission. This is one added additional layer of I'm lost at words.
Just kind of a different layer, another set of eyes, so to speak.
Yeah, it's kind of a last group that an employee could go to file a complaint or any problems that they see in their employment. So this, we have one person that's intact already, but this Jason Marshall, who has served on this committee in the past, would be willing to continue. So this would fill the second of 3 seats, and the third one we're trying to engage an attorney from the area to sit on that council, and it would not be one of our county attorney staff. It would have to be an independent person, so we're still hunting for that person.
I think Jason Marshall fits the qualifications, and he's willing to serve and has served there before. I'll make a motion that we approve Jason Marshall to the Career Service Board.
I second that.
Okay, motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Marshall is now on the board. Thank you for volunteering for that. Item number 6, ratification of the Carbon County Road Department contract to seal cracks on Ridge Road.
I'll take that one. 2 weeks ago, it was determined that we would like to do some extra crack seal work, and we had a little money that we could use to actually hire someone to come and help the road department get the volume of that work done. And so we authorized our road supervisor, Daniel Luke, to reach out to the not only the suppliers but contractors who do the crack seal work on roads, and ask them to turn bids in via email and on a short notice so that this work could be completed before it gets to the point this year where the cracks have too much moisture in them and won't dry during any given day. So there were several bids that came in. Superior Asphalt from Magna, Hales and Sand and Gravel from Richfield, Advanced Paving and Construction from Ogden, Morgan Paving from Clearfield, Superior Striping of Price, and Bonneville Asphalt and Repair LLC from Orem. And the bids ranged from $48,000 for all three areas that have been designated that we wanted pricing for, to $122,000. So there was quite a difference between the low bid of Superior Asphalt LC of Magna at $48,070. The next bid came in from Hales Sand and Gravel at $60,165, and then they went up from there. Advanced Paving and Construction was $71,950. Morgan Paving is $90,734. Superior Striping of Price here, $98,700. And Bonneville Asphalt is $122,600. So the apparent low bidder was Superior. Daniel visited with me, and we authorized him to award the contract to Superior Asphalt for $48,070. And I think they will be on site on Monday, starting their work. So.
Okay. And is the dollars that is B&C road money that's being used for that?
Yes.
Okay. Great.
I'll make a motion to ratify the cost agreement, to ratify the Carbon County Road Department contract with Superior Asphalt LLC for sealing cracks on Ridge Road.
I second that.
Okay, motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item number 7, ratification of the cost agreement to clean up contaminated soil at the Carbon County Gun Range. Now, I'll say that this is not North Springs Gun Range. This is the old gun range.
Yeah, so at 4 Mile Hill, that's just south of Price, the county owns a fairly large piece of property there. Part of that property was used for the sheriff's and the Price City Police gun range, and it was open to the public. The area is no longer used for a gun range, and in order for the property to be used or sold, we've found that we have to do some environmental cleanup of all the lead and the jacketed material from the bullets, clay pigeons, and BBs that are scattered everywhere. And so in order to give that property a clean bill of health, we required 2 things. One would be to hire an engineering firm. The second would be to engage the Department of Environmental Quality from the state of Utah to be part of the on-site effort to take samples of the soils and figure out how much soil needs to be moved and where to put it. And so we're on the front end of that. We do have a contract with the Department of Environmental Quality. They've already started this process, and Stantec Consulting Services is the company that specializes in this, and we used them for our weed and mosquito property cleanup this last year, and that's been cleaned up and has been sold now. So we'd like to do the same thing with the gun range. The plan would be for them to come in and actually do some sampling of soils and then put a report together that would outline what we would have to do to clean it up. The Department of Environmental Quality is here on site at the same time, and they both, Stantec Engineering and the Department of Environmental Quality, will take samples of the soils and send them to 2 separate labs to verify that the readings are accurate. Once the project is finished and the soils, in this case, we think we can pick them up and actually bury them on site, so we don't have to take them to ECDC and pay a lot of money to deposit them out there. We can just designate a spot on the gun range property, and then there will be some restrictions for anyone who purchases the property of what they do on top of the area that's had these soils buried. So they've given us the example of no homes can be built there, but it's an industrial area, so I think it would be more of an industrial operation that may end up buying the property. They could build a parking lot over the top of it. They could store things, but digging holes for foundations or putting pipelines or things in the ground would be prohibited over that small area. So this is an agreement with Stantec to engage them in a proposal of coming in and assisting with that effort. And the estimate they've given us, I think, is $13,000 to $14,000 for this part of the work.
And the money, this $13,000, $14,000, is that, I guess that's just not exact dollars, but some of the money that we got from the sale of other properties.
Yeah, the intent was we've sold the old weed and mosquito property. I think we sold that for $192,500. And so that money could be used to help with the cleanup of this parcel.
Okay. Do you have anything?
I don't have anything to add. I think this is a good project. It'll help make it viable property that we can sell to a possible industry moving in. So I'll make a motion to ratify the cost estimate agreement with Stantec for the cleanup of the contaminated soil at the Carbon County Gun Range at 4 Mile Hill.
I'll second that.
We have a motion, a clarification. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And again, yeah, this is not North Springs. So, item number 8, consideration and possible approval of real property tax adjustment for local residents. This might take you a minute here. Commissioners, did you want to address this first one? Or do we want to address them all combined?
Why don't, maybe I can take a minute here. So we have one individual who owns 4 properties that are rentals, and he didn't get the paperwork turned in early enough. His wife had cancer and some challenges earlier in the year, so the deadline was missed. The properties were valued at the full rate and not a primary residence. So the adjustment to the value of the home was not made. And so in an effort to try to straighten that out, there's a form that this individual has filled out for all 4 parcels, and it would require the commission to make a decision about having the assessor's office make that adjustment and adjust the tax amount on each of these parcels to reflect that the homes do have people living in them and that they do qualify for the primary resident exemption. Is that the right term, Seth?
Yeah, yep, that's correct.
Okay.
And do we want to take these individually?
I think we could probably take the 4 that are under the management of, or ownership of the 1, and that are all rentals. We could probably take all 4 of those together, and then we can talk about the last one separately.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
Because of the hardship of the family, it's not that he doesn't want to pay his taxes. He just thinks, or I think it's, and their primary residences. I'll make a motion that we make an adjustment to the a property tax adjustment to the and make them show that they're primary residents, so that they get the primary residential exemption.
And maybe we could put in the parcel numbers there.
Okay. Let's see, parcel number 02-1278-0000. Take me just a second. The next parcel is 0-1-1607-0000. Parcel number 3 is 02-1261-0000. And the last parcel under this ownership is parcel 02-1264-0000.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Next one.
I don't know who wants to take this one. I can speak to it a little bit. This is another residence. She came in, I believe it was last year, and her home is 5 years back taxes. She is disabled and is on a fixed income. Of all the people that we've allowed to put on payment programs, this individual has consistently made payments. They're just not enough to get to where we need to be. We have made some adjustments because of the disability. She's getting some abatements that will reduce the amount of tax that she is paying in the future. But she still has a fair amount to catch up, and I guess because of the disability, I think it would be helpful if we could figure out a way to help her out to get caught back up, and then because she is diligent in making payments, I think she can stay caught up.
I agree. Yeah, I think that's one of our duties as commissioners is to weigh these based on the merits of what's in front of us. And I agree with you, Commissioner Hopes, that we ought to do this. I would propose that we waive the back taxes for parcel 02-0861-0000. The principal that is owed there is $3,783.21. There are penalties and interest that have been attached to that over time, but the principal is $3,700, and the total amount that I would move that we abate is $5,166.02. That is adding principal, penalty, interest, and in one case, I'm not sure what the special is, that's noted there for $137.
It might be worth just noting, you mentioned it, Commissioner Hopes, but this is a home that is her primary residence that she inherited just a few years ago, and when she inherited it, it was already 3 years in the rear. And I think that's to me one of the main issues here is that when she received the home or received ownership of it, it was already 3 years in the rear, so it was difficult to catch up at that point. So,
Thanks, Seth.
I'll second your motion.
Okay, a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Let's see. Next one. Where's that? Maybe that's all.
Number 9.
We've got all these taken care
That's
of,
all
correct?
of them.
Okay.
I
Just making
believe
sure.
there was the 5 properties in total.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Item number 9 is review and possible approval of the results of the Board of Equalization. Seth?
yeah, each year we send out disclosure notices in July, which disclose to residents what they can expect to pay for their taxes when they receive their tax bill. One reason that we send out disclosure notices is so that residents can look at what their home is valued at that year, and if there's any questions or errors or concerns, they're able to come to our office and fill out an application for the Board of Equalization, which we hold in the end of September. In the Board of Equalization, they're able to bring any kind of information they have, whether it be a recent appraisal or damage to the home, pictures, other considerations about neighbors or the neighborhood, any information they feel is pertinent, and appeal what their home has been valued at. We have an outside appraiser who has 30 years plus worth of experience, who's from out of the area that comes, and they're kind of sit as a judge, so to speak, in the Board of Equalization. So the taxpayer will present their information, the assessor will present his information of why it's assessed a certain way, and then the gentleman, the outside appraiser that we bring in is the mediating party, so to speak, and he's meant to represent the commission. And then he makes a determination about if there should be an adjustment or not. And then we send out a notice. The clerk auditor's office sends out a notice if there's adjustments or not to the taxpayer, just to let them know what has been decided. And then that'll be reflected in their final bill that's sent out in October, their tax bill or tax notice. They also have an opportunity, if they don't agree with what the local Board of Equalization decided, they have the opportunity to, again, come to our office and fill out an application to appear before the State Tax Commission and to appeal that value that was the change that was made or not made at the local Board of Equalization. So after that long explanation, this list that's presented to you today is the name of the taxpayers, their parcel numbers, and any adjustment that was made as a result of the Board of Equalization for you to review and approve or not approve, if you have any questions.
I think it should be noted as well that not all of them received a reduction. Some of them stayed stagnant in the value of their properties. There were 2 reductions in value, there were 2 increases in value. 2 people actually received an increase, and then there were 1, 2, 3, 11, I believe around 11 properties that received a reduction in their value.
I might just state one more thing, apologize, but in previous years we've had a very large amount compared to this year. Comparatively, there's been a lot of residents who have appeared before the Board of Equalization. This year, we have a new assessor, and he's met with a lot of the taxpayers or residents. Before the Board of Equalization, they stipulated on a value. That means they both came to an agreement and stipulated. And so I would say probably 95% of those who came, there was a stipulation made. And so that's why our Board of Equalization this year is very small compared to previous years. I think we had upwards of 100 plus in years past that appeared before the Board of Equalization. So that's why you see what you see this year.
And I guess we're fortunate, or however you want to say that this area is growing, and not only Carbon County, but the whole state. There are 8 states pretty much in the West that are seeing growth, housing pricing rise. Places up north are just seeing astronomical increases in housing. So, these are just things that when somebody has a house on the market and it sells higher than it's appraised, it's going to increase values. So it's nothing that's coming from us 3 or anybody else at the county. It's kind of the neighbors that are causing this. So it's good that this system is in place where folks can come and talk, and hopefully get an adjustment if it's deserved. And hopefully, like Commissioner Hope said, not too many get increases. So.
All questions for me?
I have no questions. I'll make a motion to approve the results of the Board of Equalization.
I second that.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.